Okay guys, I'm going to clean my Springfield XDS, and I figure there might be some people that would like to see me do that. So I figured I'd just turn the camera on and go ahead and let you see me clean it. First of all, it is empty. I'll let you see before I clean it. Get the light in a better angle here for you. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty dirty from racking the slide and firing it. Now, here's the deal. When I fired this gun at the range, I ended up only firing 100 rounds. I was going to go 200, but I went about 100 rounds and left from there. Now, in that 100 rounds of shooting, I shot all rounds semi-rapid fire without any breaks at all. Now, before I had taken this gun to the range, I had planned on stripping it down and cleaning it and oiling it like you should do. Well, the only thing is, I forgot. I was getting everything ready and I was excited to get to the range, and I didn't do any of that. So I basically took this gun to the range straight out of the box, and it was fine. Chugged along 100 rounds, no issues, no problems whatsoever. So right now, I want to go through and give this guy a good, thorough cleaning. So, you know, if it ran that good then, it's really going to run good now after I get it cleaned and oiled properly like it should be. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little rag up here. Lay parts on and whatnot. Also, when I clean this time, or when I clean this right now, I hadn't cleaned it before, so I can't say this time. I'm going to use Slide Glide. Johnny-ac 7078 was gracious enough to send me this because he really likes it and he wanted me to try it out. It's BrianEnos.com if you want to look this stuff up. Now, I love the smell of this. When you open it, it kind of smells like you walked into a bus garage or a car repair shop. I can't explain it. It just has that smell to it. It must be something that they use in there. Some kind of grease is probably one of the ingredients in this. Now, as you see, I do have Ballast Oil out. Now, this stuff, maybe you're different than me, but to me, this stuff stinks to high heaven. I mean, it even irritates my dogs a little bit. They'll sneeze and stuff when I start spraying that stuff around. So I try to go as light on that as I can because I don't want to spray that much of that in an enclosed room. It can give me a headache. I'm just letting you know. Maybe your thoughts may be different on that, but for me, that's the way it is. But as for a cleaner, it's not bad. The stuff here is really good. Hops number 9. Okay, let me quit rambling and get into this. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of this brake free. Phew, man, the smell hit me already, and I haven't even really done anything yet with it. Now I'm spraying a little bit in there like that, guys, because I'm going to clean it out. Never, ever coat anything you own in this stuff for storage. It's not what it's made for. It can eat metal. Never do that. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, one of the first things I like to do when I start is just take the slide, the bare slide like this, and I'm just going to take some Hops Elite. This stuff is awesome as just a general cleaner. It's not harsh, and it's not for necessarily cleaning down your barrel if it's got a lot of fouling in it. This stuff has almost no odor to it, guys, and it really does a good job. Like, I'll use this on the outside of the gun at the final when I'm done. Okay, what I like to do is just start out and just go ahead and get your hands down in there and, you know, start like that. I'll fine-tune it later. I'll get in there, you know, and start getting the stuff in the cracks and crevices that I miss this way. after I get the bulk of the dirt out. Love this little gun, guys. This thing is awesome. I actually want another one. This little thing is a shooter. I'm telling you. I'll have to get up in here real good. I'll take something and wrap it around the rag, and I'll be able to get up in here. Guys, I plan on shooting the stuffings out of this gun. I'm serious. I'm getting ready to do a bulk order on some 45 ACP ammo, and that order is just going to be for this guy right here. So there's going to be a lot of feedback I'm going to be able to give you on this guy. Alright, well, I'm going to continue to do some work on this. Don't want to get too boring or long in this video, so I'm going to cut the camera and I'll get back. Another good thing that's good to do, and what you see me doing here, this is going to work on any semi-auto handgun, basically. You know, some of the parts are going to vary here and there, but this is basically going to work on all semi-auto handguns. I sprayed some of this Hops Elite into the rail channels on this guy, and I'm going to go in there with a brush that will get right into the rail there, so I can get a little bit better cleaning done inside the rail channels there. It's kind of important. You want to keep those rail channels clean, because that's where your that's what your slide's riding on the rails on the frame. You want to keep that nice and clean and without debris so that the slide moves freely back and forth. Okay. Then also, wow, this brush is dirty. You can take the bigger end of the brush, move this back a little bit, take the bigger end of the brush and you know, always scrub where your firing pin is upside down like this, so a bunch of junk doesn't run down in there. I don't think it's going to affect it too much, but just to be on the safe side, especially if it's going to be your carry gun, you do it like this. You comprende, my friend? Ese, you comprende? I point my gun at you, ese. See, that ballast oil's got me high. What can I say? Okay. You comprende, ese? Now I'm going to go back in there again and get to, again, try to get the bulk of stuff out of there. Man, this thing is sure is small, I'll tell you. For a 45, I still can't believe how small they were able to make this. Springfield totally re-engineered this gun. It's not a chopped gun. Most gun companies take the full-size gun, chop the barrel and the grip and make a compact, and then chop the barrel and grip a little bit more and call it a subcompact. This whole gun is different. Slide has a pretty low bore axis. Look at that. Everything about this gun is different from the bigger XDs. It's a whole different animal. Okay guys, I'm going to finish fine-tuning this, and I will be back at you. Okay, now when you're through, you should have something that resembles this. What do you think of that, guys? Not too shabby, huh? I'm going to be shooting this real soon again, so I'm not going to go real fine-tooth comb with it. I am going to give it a good thorough cleaning, but I am not going to give it the white glove cleaning, but I would say this is as good as I need it to be right now. You know, as far as the inside of the slide, I have not yet cleaned the exterior, of course. I always like to do that at the end because, you know, you continue to handle things like that, you're going to get it dirty again and remuck it up, so to speak. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, since you know I had sprayed the Ballast Oil down the barrel, I'm just going to take the bronze phosphor brush. Now, don't listen to guys that say don't use this. This is much softer than the steel in the gun. This will not harm your gun. Okay? If this would harm your gun, then you better never shoot a full metal jacket through this barrel because that'll probably tear the whole thing apart, right? You can go back and forth like this as long as you go all the way through first. Then you can come back through. Don't do it midway through the barrel. It's very tight in there and you don't want to do it at that point. But you can go back and forth, guys. I've been doing this for I don't know how long, 20 years, and this is the same cleaning methods I've always used, so. Like I said, nothing spectacular here on this one. I will be taking this out real soon. But this is for all intents and purposes, what I'm doing now is as clean as you're going to need to do any of your semi-auto guns. Okay? Okay, now I need to pass a patch or two through that. Okie dokies. Why did I just do that? I'm a moron and I'm high on Ballast Oil right now. You have been warned. That stuff stinks. I don't care what anybody says. Pretty soon my pit bulls are going to be sneezing. I'm just going to pass this through like so. Now what I shot through this, of course, was all Blazer, 230 grain. I like the Blazer myself. I've never had problems with it that I can remember. It's not too shabby from what I can tell. I need to get another one going down through there, though. Bing. Got another one. Yeah, you want to go from. I'm going to go from chamber end. It's safest that way when using this. Sometimes what you kind of want to do is when you're cleaning this, use something that might be a little oversized and kind of twist it, make it so it's tight, like so that the material folds around. You want it to be tight when it goes through. And here comes all those pleasant comments I'm going to get right about now. That's what she said and all that good stuff. I know it. But you guys are very predictable. But yeah, you want to get up in this region right here. You know, in the back of that lug, locking lug. And you know what, guys, that's going to be good for now. I'm definitely going to be doing some serious shooting with this. Lots of shooting with this. You know, it's a new platform for me. You want to, you know, practice with that. When I say a new platform, what I mean is not the caliber or anything like that. Of course, I shoot 45s a lot. But a new platform being the size of the gun. The size of the gun, the shape of the gun, the feel of the gun. When you're introduced to something new like that, see how smart I am? I get those big words out now and again, don't I? But when you're introduced to something like that, you're going to need to, well, at least as far as I'm concerned, you need to do some practice and some training with that gun. You know, if you shoot Glocks, every Glock model is similar. Some's a little bit bigger, some's a little bit smaller, but the trigger's similar. Most things are similar, the grip angle. But when you move to a different style, size, shape of gun, you know, it pays to do some training with that gun. It's just my opinion on the whole deal. Take it or leave it. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to upload this video or not, man. This Ballast Oil's got me high as a kite. I'm not even kidding. I am high as a kite right now. Okay, what I'm going to do now is spray some of this into the frame. I'm going to do the same type deal that I did with the slide. Basically just, you know, doing a general wipe over of everything. Look how shiny that is. Nice. Now, of course, everywhere this went and down the mag well, of course, yes, I will wipe that all out. I know somebody's going to point that out to me. And I don't mind that, you know. You're always going to have that when you do videos, but, you know, that's the nature of the beast, so to speak. See all this dirt that's coming out of this region right here? You know, I will get all of that out, fine-tune this up here, and I will be right back with you in a minute. Okay, now it's time for the fun part, and that is going to be putting the slide glide on the parts of the gun. So I'm going to put some on the barrel and put some in the rails of the slide and try to just show you what I do as I go. So first I'm just going to take the barrel here. That'll focus in for me. Get this stuff open. Kind of want to use your fingers for this, guys, because thanks, Willwood. Shout out to you, brother. I'm going to go ahead and put some on there. So just use your finger and, you know, don't overdo it. I mean, it's not really a big deal, but don't like cake it on there and have it dripping off. You know, just do a light coating. Anywhere that metal's going to touch metal. Johnny 7078 also has a couple videos up as well. Man, I hope this is in focus. These dogs. Doing this to a couple of his guns. So what I'm going to do is just do that. Wipe off on a rag. What this stuff's claim to fame is it stays put. Where you put it, it stays. Oil can evaporate. I don't have anything against oil, guys. I'm not slamming any oil whatsoever. I still use oil in the majority of my guns, but the fact of the matter is oil can evaporate, and oil can wear off, you know, of parts. Not a big deal. You can go out and shoot thousands of rounds. I'm not trying to down it or, you know, push this product on you in any way whatsoever. But grease has a tendency to adhere a little longer. That's all I'm saying. I especially like grease on, you know, things like 1911s. Let me get my rag here because I don't want to touch the end of this here. Then what I'm going to do is, let me get it. Didn't I bring those Q-tips in here? These dogs. Yeah. I'm going to put a little bit into the locking lug area. Man, I hope this is in focus, because if not, well, then I guess it just won't be in focus. Just going to put some in there. Just don't get down on your feed ramp. You don't need that. But in there, it's okay. It's alright. It's alright. Well, just the way I got this lighting, I can't tell if this is in focus or not. Or maybe it's just my eyes from breathing in all this ballast oil. Okay, we're going to call that good. Good. Next is going to be working on the slide. So the way I'm going to try to do it, I think Johnny-Ack has a different way of doing this. But I'm just going to try to put it in the rails, you know, all of it with a Q-tip. I think he puts some in with his finger, and then he rubs it around with the Q-tip later. I'm just going to go and try to get it in there with the Q-tip and run it up the rail. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to try putting a little bit more on there. I think the Q-tip soaked up a lot of it. Focus. Well, I do see it in the rail. I think there could be a little bit more near the front of the rail. This is getting to be a pain in my kazoo right now. I guess this is why Johnny-Ack uses his finger to put it in there. I don't want a ton, but I want to make sure it's in the right spot, if you know what I mean. Now I'll wipe out that little excess and all that, of course, when I'm done. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side off film. This is taking too long. I'll be back in a second. Okie dokies, I got the rail done. It actually worked better doing it the way Johnny-Ack 7078 does, putting it in there with your finger and then going in and using the Q-tip to push it around. Next, where it's going to go, this is where the barrel hood's going to ride. So you're going to put some right here. And the awesome thing about this stuff is it stays put. Now here's another thing I forgot to mention. As I went to get this stuff, I thought, uh-oh, the upstairs of my house is probably about at least probably 87 degrees right now. And this stuff, as you see it, has been sitting up there in that heat for days. You know, with it being that hot during the daytime. So, I'll tell you what, heat does not break this stuff down, because I thought, man, this stuff might be a liquid mess up there, you know, when I get up in there, but it wasn't. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very, very light coating right here along these, along the bottom of the rail right here. Just a light coating, wipe off any excess. You know, because basically what this is, the reason I'm doing it, it's not that I think that the gun's not going to run well and it needs this much lube to run. It's that it prevents wear on those parts. Well, it will take a lot longer to get a good amount of wear on those parts if you use the Slide Glide, because of the properties of it. It's going to disable a lot of that wear you would get. So, I like it. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off that excess lube and assemble the gun, and I'll show you what I do for the final outside of the gun. If you're still with me, it's a miracle if you are, but I hope you're still watching. Alright, I got her all back together, and it feels great, man. I remember I put this Slide Glide on my Desert Eagle, and it too, it seemed to have a more softer feel to the recoil, or to the pulling the slide back. I just can't explain it. It's hard to explain. It feels better, you know, like that. So now I'm going to show you, let me wipe off, I had grease on me and I got some on the slide. But I'm just going to show you guys basically what I do to clean the outside of the gun. It's pretty easy, nothing too intense with it. But here I'm going to Sorry for taking so long here. I'm trying to get everything in order, guys. Give me a second. Okay, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Hops Elite on the rag. I'm going to start up on the slide here. I'm just going to go over the slide. This side was really dirty. Now, after you do all this, you don't want to go over your barrel hood because it's picking up that grease from the underside of the slide right here where we put it in. So don't go getting crazy on that barrel hood with oil. You don't need to mix the oil and the grease. So just kind of leave that be. And if you bump it or something, that's okay, but you know, don't pay attention to the top of that slide. I'm going to go over this a little bit better too once I turn the camera off. But also in your polymer frame, okay, we're going to take the hops again, and you want to do the same thing right over your polymer frame. This stuff is of course polymer safe, and even though you can't see it, a lot of dirt and stuff accumulates on this polymer when you fire, especially up near the muzzle and things like that. Okay guys, there it is. Good as new. I'm going to tell you guys, I know I keep saying this, but I love this little gun. Next thing that you'll be seeing real soon as I can get a hold of one, is I am going to buy the one with the silver slide, and I'm probably going to pick up another black one as well. So I'm kind of thinking 3 right now is going to be my number on this guy. I really, really like it that much. I'm not even joking with you guys. I don't know if it's just mine or what the deal is. Actually, no, I did dry fire another one, and it was the same. But the trigger on this gun is good enough that I can tell you right now there is nothing I would do to change this trigger. I would not have any kind of parts changed, any kind of poundage taken off or anything. I would leave the trigger exactly how it is from the factory on that XDS. Love this gun, man. Love it. The only downfall is to these guns, and of course it's normal. You're going to have your 5-round capacity, which for me it's going to be 5+1. Carry one in the chamber. You're going to have 6 rounds. You're basically going to have the same amount as if you were carrying a revolver. You can get an extended magazine. I probably will not use an extended magazine unless it's on a mag pouch holder on my side. I want to keep the gun true to its nature, to what it was designed to be, which is a small, compact carry gun. Once you go putting an extended magazine on here, you might as well just step up to a bigger gun, to a bigger platform, as far as I'm concerned. You know, the only thing is, though, this gun is thin enough that I can see some guys running an extended mag and still maybe this gun carrying better for them than a thicker gun. But I'm telling you what, this is a total redesigned package. This isn't a mopped and chopped full-size XD, you know, mopped and chopped down. This is a whole redesigned gun, and I haven't been this excited about a new gun in quite some time. But I like this guy, and what I want to do is I want to put this through some serious test. And by test, I mean I'm not going to torture test it and, you know, go out and throw it on concrete and all this junk that's never going to happen to your gun in real life. I'm talking about just going and putting it through its paces. You know, trying to get a couple thousand rounds through it, letting you know how it runs after a couple thousand rounds. You know, seeing how everything goes. So far, so good. Alright guys, there you have it. That's funny. Look, I'm in my normal firing grip, and look how close my finger is to the to the end of the slide. It's amazing, man, how small this thing is. Alright guys, until next time, I hope you enjoy these kind of videos. If you do, let me know. And if you don't let me know. This is H4T, and I am out of there.